marketing efforts really shine. I know that it takes a lot of time to market a business, and it is no fun to spend a bunch of time coming up with marketing content only to have it fall flat. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love playing around on Canva, but not for no reason. So I do a lot of marketing audits, and I see the same opportunities again and again in terms of things that people can do, simple things that people can do to improve their marketing efforts. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. 3 easy ways that you can improve your marketing efforts so that all of that hard time that you spend is well worth it. So thank you for joining me today. We're going to get rolling in just a second. Let me do a little behind the scenes magic to make sure that we're going live in all the places and spaces. In the meantime, say hello and let us know where you're tuning in from. Here we go. And just in the nick of time. All right, we're getting back into the swing of things here at Savvy Music Studio. And today I am excited to talk about marketing with you because we are going to be examining 3 ways that you can improve your marketing. And these are simple, very effective things that anyone can do. So let me do a little housekeeping and just say, hey, welcome, friend. I'm so glad that you're here today. We are going to be covering some of the things that I tend to see in things that we do here at Savvy. We do a lot of audits, whether it's social media audits or a general online presence audit, a website audit. And what I'm doing today is sharing some of the things that we see with a lot of profiles. And we're going to go over some common mistakes and ways that you can avoid those things because I want marketing to feel easy for you. And I know that marketing is kind of a point for a lot of independent music teachers and small business owners like yourself. So we're going to go through those things, but let me just say, hey, if you're new here, hi and welcome. My name is Sara Campbell. I am a business strategist and marketing coach for music studio owners and online education experts just like yourself. And we go live here on Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern, where we share all the good stuff. And I want to also let some of you know, for those of you who in the past have signed up for text notifications from Savvy Music Studio, we send out a text about 20 to 15 minutes before we do these broadcasts so that you can easily get the links. I'm going to let you in on a little secret, okay? I made a big boo-boo this morning and accidentally unsubscribed everybody who was getting those text messages. So if you are used to getting those text messages and you would like to get a hold of those again, I can show you how to do that. So what you're going to do is you're going to drop the word marketing down below. If you are on Instagram or on Facebook, that will work. Or you're going to look at the link in description in YouTube. And if you would like to re-opt in to receive those text reminders so that it's super simple for you to find the links to these videos, that would be amazing. I am going to try to fix my mistake, but honestly, I'm not sure that it's fixable. So I'm just letting y'all know if you don't see text messages from me, that's why. Okay, so thanks everyone for being here. We're going to be diving into this topic. Let me say a quick hello to everyone. We have Laura. She is at the wharf in Gravenhurst, Ontario right now. I love it. Elizabeth's tuning in from Central New York. Karen is here from Lake St. Louis, Missouri. And Andrew Jen Young. Oh, Andrew, nice to see you. Good to see you. And Craig is tuning in from Houston over on YouTube, which is amazing. So welcome, everyone. All right, so let's get to the goods. Sorry, I can't find my screen here. There we go. So we are going to be talking about several things that you can do to improve your studio's marketing so that you can attract more of the clients and students that you want to work with. And let's unpack the issue a little bit. So putting together a marketing strategy is something that we might not think to put a lot of time into. Or maybe we do think that we're putting a lot of time into a strategy, but we're not actually using a strategy. We are just kind of throwing spaghetti out at the wall and hoping that something sticks. So we're going to be looking at 3 different areas here that hopefully will give you some really great ideas to improve your marketing. And so I want you to grab a pen, grab a pencil, get some water, have a seat, and we're going to take about 20 minutes to go through this. So let's do that. If you find anything that's useful here today and you would like to say, hey, that was like a great idea, all that kind of stuff like that, or hey, I've never thought about it that way, give us your takeaway. Drop that into the comments, and if you're live here, I can bring it up on the screen, which is always kind of fun. It also is really great for our replay viewers who come back and then they get all those takeaways immediately in the comments. All right, so let's look at our first item today. There we go. All right, so we're talking about the idea of passive versus active marketing. This is one of the opportunities that I see on a lot of accounts that I audit. The issue that I see is that they're not actually marketing. So there's a difference between being passive with our marketing and being active with our marketing. So let me give you some examples of this. So here's an example of passive marketing where we're not really being intentional around what we're doing. Something could be like, for instance, on social media, maybe your marketing looks like, I don't really know what to throw on this page today, so I'm just going to share a post from somebody else. Or I'm going to share a blog article, like I'll post a link of a blog or a video. And what you forget to do in that moment is that you forget to add your own perspective and your own insight. So if you are sharing a link, whether it's from another page or it's just a link that goes off of Facebook or something like that, that is actually not going to be very effective. And we're going to go over one of the reasons it's not effective a little bit later. But the reason that I'm bringing this up now, it's not effective because you haven't put any personal commentary on it and there's no call to action. So while it might feel like, oh, okay, this is my little effort at marketing today, sharing that link about music, the importance of music education, I can almost guarantee that not a lot of people are going to see it and it's not going to be very effective. So that's one, way to kind of frame passive marketing. Some other ways to think of passive marketing would be if you are posting very infrequently, so really sporadic posting, long gaps between your updates, and it's hard for your audience to stay engaged. Or if when you're marketing something, you get really wrapped up in creating the thing that you're doing, like creating the class or creating the workshop or creating the course, and then your marketing campaign is very small, like maybe just 1 or 2 posts. There's not a lot of follow-up. Our rule of thumb nowadays in terms of marketing, like how many times people need to actually see something, it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So, while maybe, 10 years ago, somebody could see something like 2 or 3 times and that they would be moved to take action because of the rate, the speed that stuff is being shoved in our face all of the time because of social media and because of email and all of this stuff. We need to see things a lot more. Like a couple years ago, I believe that the recommended amount of times people would need to see something before they took action was between 7 and 9. And that was a couple of years ago. I have a feeling that it's more than that now. So if you're being passive with your marketing and only putting things out once or twice, we can't expect to see a lot of, good stuff coming from that. So when we're thinking about our marketing, we want to think in more of an active kind of way and thinking about creating original content, developing your own blogs or your own videos or, your own graphics that reflect your unique voice and your expertise. And we want to post those things so that we can get our own opinions out there. People can really understand what you're about. So relying on original content is one way to be more active in your marketing rather than sharing something from somebody else. If you are, well, you can share those things, but just make sure that you're adding your own commentary to it, or write your own perspective on the same topic, right? The other thing that we can start thinking of is, how consistently am I engaging with my own marketing, whether that's online marketing or in-person marketing. Like the old school marketing methods, they still work. Like, believe me, they still work. This is something that I work on very intensively with one-on-one clients. A lot of people think that when they work with me, you're going to find that I only give you tips around like social media marketing, but that's not true. We talk a lot about old school marketing techniques and how effective they can be today. So create your own content, be consistent with your engagement, and think about when you are creating a marketing campaign, like if you have a something that is starting on a specific day and time, or your enrollment for fall starts at a specific day and time, then you want to really like ramp up your marketing in many weeks prior to that. And if you want to see a really good example of that, we are going to be ramping up our marketing here because our branding program starts on October 2nd. And from now until then, you're going to see a lot more about that program. So keep your eyes open and look for some examples that you might be able to bring to get a little inspiration from. Cassandra gave a good takeaway here. She said, passive things like her takeaway is like understanding what passive marketing is. So like sharing other people's posts and content without your own insight. Yes. And then not actually marketing the thing. Great. All right. So that is our first thing to think about. The question to ask yourself is, especially if you are in a place in your business right now that you are looking for more clients, like actively looking to enroll more people in your business, whether it's a service or a product, I want you to ask yourself the question, am I being passive with my marketing, or am I being active with my marketing? Give it a little thought. All right. The second thing that I see is when I'm doing these audits, I see a lot of very simple mistakes that tend to squash reach. So I know we're all tired of talking about the algorithm. Can we just say that? Anybody else here tired of talking about the algorithm? If you are, please raise your hand. Because I am tired of the freaking algorithm. Hey there, Haley is listening in on Instagram. Haley, love you. So yes, we are all tired of talking about the algorithm, but we need to know about things that are squashing our reach. Now, I don't want to just talk about social media with this, because I don't think that social media marketing is the number one best way to market your studio. I think it plays a part in our marketing strategies, but it's definitely not the whole pie. So we're going to look at a couple of things that you can consider. And let me bring up my notes. Oh my gosh. Yes, I feel you. Like Craig is like, the algorithm sucks. Yeah, it kind of does. Although it's like, I will give, what's his face, credit from Instagram, who he says that the algorithm is going to like start favoring smaller content creators. I'm not sure that I've seen the results of that yet. But you know, that's okay. So some simple mistakes. All right. Let me give you a very simple mistake that I talk about in almost every single audit that I do. If you are adding links to a Facebook post, or immediately in the first comment of that post, and that link is leading someone away from Facebook, that is an algorithm killer. Go ahead, take a look at your newsfeed from take a look at your timeline from your business page and examine the posts that you've made recently. If you have a lot of posts that have a link in the description and it's leading to your website, or it's leading to something, a blog or whatever, you are probably going to notice that the majority of those posts did not perform well. And there's a reason for it. Facebook doesn't want you to send people off platform. Makes sense, right? The only way that they make money here is by people staying on platform so that they can see ads. And if we're sending them off platform, we're kind of going against what they want. So that is one big hot tip. Like, if that is your only takeaway from today, please put that in your pocket, tack it up onto your cork board as a reminder to don't put links in every single post. Now, I'm not saying you should never do that. That's a whole other conversation, but don't do it regularly. Same thing goes for like Instagram. If you're posting on Instagram and you're putting links in the description of your Instagram posts, one, those links are not clickable because Instagram does not make them clickable. And two, if it's a super long link, then somebody has to be able to remember that link and go type it into a browser, which they probably are not very likely to do. If it's a short link, just like your main website, maybe that's enough to just remind them about how to get a hold of you. But again, it's like that's not the most effective way to do things, and you're not going to get a lot of activity from that. You're not going to see a lot of results. Now, let's set aside social media for a second and talk about another thing. So another simple mistake that people can make is not being aware of the things that are affecting your website. So I'm going to name 3 things that tend to make a website perform not so great. One of them is if your SEO is not optimized, because if your SEO, your search engine optimization, is not optimized, you're not going to show up in search results. So when people Google piano lessons near me, you're not going to be there. And oh, by the way, I don't know if you all noticed this. There was a big change that happened in Google very recently. Like I think in the last month, Google has now shifted to having pages again, having pages of search results. I'm not sure if you were like aware of this, but when we were Googling things in the recent past, did you notice that there wasn't like any pages, that the results continued to scroll and scroll and scroll? You could keep going and going and going, and more results would come up. That has changed. Go Google something. You're going to see what I mean. So instead of having this endless page result, we now have page 1, page 2, page 3. We're back to the old school way of how Google used to have searches. Now, our goal is to show up on page 1. And since that new rule has come back, SEO is more important than ever. Okay, so that's one thing. If you're not optimizing your SEO, let's optimize it. Number 2, your site is not mobile responsive. When's the last time that you looked at your website on your phone? Because if you are a micro business owner, an independent music teacher, and you're like doing all the things yourself, you most likely look at your website from your desktop because that's where you're doing all of your updates. But when's the last time you looked at your website on your phone and checked whether or not it was mobile responsive and easy to navigate? That's another marketing killer. The third thing, and this is very important, it also can feel hard to fix, but with the right guidance and perseverance, you can do this thing. If your homepage on your website has too much text, doesn't have clear navigation, and it has no obvious focal points, like what is my first step in working with you? What is my first step to sign up for your list? What is my first step to enroll in a discovery lesson? That's going to negatively impact your results. You're not going to see as many people inquiring. You're not going to see as many people joining, etc. So really honing in your homepage and making sure that it has the right text, it's saying the right things, that it doesn't have too much stuff to read, or that it's not just cluttered with all kinds of images and there's no focal point that really drives people towards taking an action. This is something we really help a lot of people with. So if you are looking for pro advice around that, like reach out to me. Thank you. So Laura actually had a website audit earlier this summer. And she said she's super happy with her new website thanks to my audit. And I'm so glad that audit was useful to you. I was really inspired to see the changes that you made. It's so much more clear. It speaks really well to your ideal client, and the journey that they are taking looks amazing. So congratulations, Laura. You did some really good work there. Okay, so Haley over on Instagram says, these are great reminders. There's a big guilty about having too much to read. I feel you, right? Like getting that text down can be really challenging. This is something that I was working on just this past couple of weeks as we were revamping our sales page for our branding course, which, by the way, you guys are going to be the first ones to know the new name of the course. I'm going to tell you it today in just a minute. We rebranded Branding Bootcamp, and I'm really excited to tell you about it. Okay, lost my train of thought. All right, let's move on. So let me summarize this point here. How do you know if you are making those small but pretty impactful mistakes? Well, one of the best ways that you can figure this out is to use analytics. So whether you're examining your website reach, your social media reach, or you are, trying to examine the results of an in-person, like actual out in real life world marketing campaign, look at the numbers. How many people are seeing your things? How many people are actually reaching out because of that thing? And when we can look at those analytics and we can see what was my reach on this, how many people were engaging with this, whether that engages a share, a like, a comment, or how many people actually reached out to me because of that marketing tactic, that is going to tell you whether or not something's effective. So, all right. We're going to move on to our third bit here, but I just want to do a little reminder midway through the broadcast. I said it at the top. Y'all, I made a big mistake and I accidentally unsubscribed everybody who had subscribed to get text messages from Savvy Music Studio when we go live. So if you were getting text messages before and you want to resubscribe to that, drop the word marketing down below and you can follow the instructions from the Savvy Sara bot. She'll show you how to do that. I'm like this close to just saying I'm not doing text messages anymore because I'm really frustrated with myself that I accidentally deleted every single number from our program. But we're going to give it one more try. So if you do want to get text messages from Savvy Music Studio, go ahead and put marketing down below, or click the link in YouTube. You will see that there and all that good stuff. There's also show notes from today. So if you want to get the show notes from today, you can get that there too. All right. Let's look at some of the other takeaways here. Cassandra says you want your website to be on page 1 in Google search. Yep, 100%. It was very good. Very good. Yeah, Karen, I agree. Analyzing analytics and making improvements could be a course in and of itself. And we do actually have a section inside of our online marketing course that talks about analytics and how to track some of those things. So if you are in that course, check it out. All right, let's get to our third point today. Another thing that can impact our marketing and make those, make all that time that you spend on your marketing not worth it is if you are focused solely on selling the service or the product and not the outcome of actually using that service or using that product. So let me explain what I mean by this. This might be a new concept for you. Haley, I see that you put the word marketing on Instagram, so I'll reach out to you. Sometimes it doesn't automatically do it itself. So let's talk about this. So if you were just selling a service, here's an example of that, right? So if we're just selling a service, your marketing might look something like, we have spaces for piano lessons. And you know what? Sometimes that can be effective, right? It also might be something like at our studio, we offer 30, 45, and 60-minute piano lessons. Or at our, in our business, we provide voice lessons that teach lots of genres, right? Okay. What I was seeing in those examples was all feature driven. It's all what people are going to get, like what you're giving them. But here's the thing, feature-driven marketing is not the most effective type of marketing. It can be effective, but you know what is way more effective than that? outcome marketing, like what we call benefit-driven marketing. So instead of talking about the fact that you have 30-minute piano lessons and you will teach them theory and sight reading and yada yada, instead of that, talk about the outcomes of that. So to think about what are some of the hidden benefits of working with you? It's less about music. I can almost guarantee in every single circumstance, it's less about music and it's more about confidence. Why do people reach out to you to work with you? Are they just there to learn how to sing better? Or are they just there to learn how to play piano or to play guitar? Or is there a deeper reason behind why they are working with you? There's a deeper reason why they're working with you. Spoiler alert, there is a deeper reason. So really being able to understand why people seek out lessons, why people seek out your courses is very important. And thinking about what are their hopes, what are their dreams, what are their goals, right? We need to understand those things so that we can articulate the outcome of working with you. Not the you will learn how to sing higher or be able to sing over your break. Tell me why I want to do those things. Tell me why. That's the type of marketing that really grabs attention. It's very much focused on their desired outcome, not just that they want to sing higher. Yes, that's true, but ask them, why do you want to sing higher? Oh, because I want to be able to do X, Y, and Z, right? Or, oh, well, I can sometimes sing high, but I don't like the way that it sounds, and it makes me feel very self-conscious, right? Thinking about what are the outcomes that they're looking for you and being able to articulate that is super important. I love that, Andrew. I think that's super smart. He says, I try to inquire what their goals are so I know how to best serve them. That's really, really smart. And this is why, like, some of the, most effective marketing that we can lean into is not just, benefit-driven marketing, but it's marketing that actually comes from the clients. It's their testimonials. It's their success stories that really show people what it's like to work with you. Let me give you a very clear example of this. Straight up, this is me marketing the new branding class, okay? So I could talk about how in this class, over the 16 weeks that we will work together, you will learn better marketing strategies. You will understand how a brand, how to establish the foundations of your brand. You will understand how to do all those things. But that might not be enough to get your interest. But what I can do, that's all feature-driven marketing, right? You're going to learn X, Y, and Z. But what if I shifted and talked about outcomes, right? So for example, just the other day, as I was revamping the sales page, I was going through testimonials and I was putting new testimonials on the website. And one of the testimonials that I came across was someone that I hadn't seen in a couple of years. And I was thinking to myself, oh, you know what? Like, I want to go check out her website. And I went to her website and I remember what that website looked like before she took the class and before she dug in and did the deep work. It didn't reflect who she was. It didn't really reflect how amazing this teacher was and how she was super unique in what she offered. So I went to this new website last week and I looked at it and it absolutely blew me away. I looked at the website copy and it was beautiful. Like the way that she wrote it was just very engaging. And if I had been her ideal client, I would have been super excited to work with her. So the images, the copy, the calls to action, everything was so clear. So I reached out to her via email and sent her a quick note and said, oh my gosh, I just went onto your website and it freaking rocks. Like I am so amazed by what you did. And you know what she came back with? She said to me, Sara, I took everything that I learned in that class with you and I applied it. And now here I am 2 years later, and I have a wait list for the fall. It's working. It's really working. That is outcome marketing. That is benefit-driven marketing because it shows what is the outcome of doing that thing. So I hope that that gives you some ideas to kind of chew on and to think about. So I am going to do a very tiny plug, and you all are the first ones to hear about this. We have rebranded Branding Bootcamp. It is going to start on October 2nd. And the new name of this course that has been rebranded and rethought and revamped. There's a lot of really great things in this iteration. I'm very excited to introduce the Brave Pants Branding and Marketing Program. Some of you may remember our use of the word Brave Pants in previous broadcasts, in previous posts. We say the word Brave Pants when we are telling people that, yeah, this thing might be hard, but you're going to put your Brave Pants on and you're just going to do it. So that is what we are going to be doing starting this fall. It's going to start on October 2nd. It runs all the way through the end of January. It's a 4-month-long course. I'm very excited to get going this year. It's going to be amazing. So Brave Pants Branding and Marketing. If you want to learn how to get better at this stuff and feel more comfortable and confident in the way that you show up in your marketing, in the way that your website speaks to your ideal clients, and you are looking for expert advice and someone who will walk you through that, and you love working with other teachers and you are looking for a cohort who is going to be there to support you, let's chat. All right, there you go. Yes, say Elizabeth. Yes, thank you. Brave Pants Branding. It's going to be good. Yes, Craig, you were 100% right. I took everything I learned from this course, and now I have a wait list for the fall. I'm going to go and edit that description and edit that testimonial once I get permission. That's all good stuff. All right, so we're going to do a very quick recap of the points that we went over today. If you have enjoyed today's broadcast, can you do me a solid? Since we put these, free resources out, and we would love for you to spread the word. So if you found today's conversation useful, do me a couple of favors real quick. It's not going to take any time. The first thing you can do is you can love this video, right? Hit the heart button, give it a like, give it a love, do that. That's the one thing that can be super useful. The next thing, if you want to take it a step further, invite a friend. If you have a friend that you know who is struggling with their marketing, tag them in the comments or share this to them in Messenger and let them know that this resource is here for them. And if you do those things, I would super duper appreciate it. Okay, now let's do our little recap. It has been a long time since I've done a recap, so drum roll, please. We're going to try to get this all in 3 minutes. Here we go. Are you frustrated that your marketing efforts are not bringing in clients? I know that it can be very upsetting when you spend a lot of time creating marketing materials and then nothing works, or a lot of time creating posts and they kind of fall flat. So I do a lot of marketing audits, and the thing is, I see the same opportunities for improvements time and time again, whether we're looking at social media or a website, or we're talking about the network marketing that people do. So I'm going to share 3 key areas that can transform your marketing efforts so that they actually pay off. So one of the first mistakes that I see when I'm doing marketing audits is that when I examine someone's online marketing, I see that they're not actually marketing, because there's a difference between something we call passive marketing, where maybe we're just sharing other people's content, we're not putting our own spin on it, we're not posting enough, we're doing a marketing campaign, but there's only 1 or 2 posts that go along with it. Passive marketing is not very effective. If you are actively trying to get new clients, you need to be actively marketing, which means creating original content. It means being consistent with your engagement, and it means putting together campaigns that have many different touch points, because people need to see your stuff a lot before they're going to take action. So be sure that you understand the difference between passive and active marketing. The second thing, another thing that can really impact the way your marketing performs is if you fall into making these simple but really not so great mistakes. So I'm talking about things like adding links to the posts that you make on your Facebook business page. If you're adding links into every description and every post that you're making, that's an algorithm killer and it is going to squash your reach. So don't add a link with every single post. Make the post speak for itself. Have a call to action in that post. And if that post is a really good one and it really speaks to your ideal clients and moves them to take action, they will figure out where that link lives. Finally, when it comes to marketing, I want you to think about focusing on the outcome of your service rather than the service itself. You are not just selling piano lessons or guitar lessons or voice lessons. You are selling something that changes somebody's life. So it's not the lesson itself that's the important thing. It's the outcome of that lesson. What happens after they've been in your studio for 3 months, 6 months, a year, 3 years? Understanding the way that what you do changes somebody's life is a way more effective way to market than just marketing the lesson itself. All right. On that note, if you are interested in learning more about how to effectively market your services, your products, your studio, and you are looking for someone to help you with that, reach out. That's what we do here at Savvy Music Studio. And this fall, we have our Brave Pants branding and marketing program that starts on October 2nd, and it's going to be amazing. All right, that's it for today. If you enjoyed today's broadcast, let us know, and we'll be back next week. In the meantime, stay savvy and stay you, because you are an amazing teacher, and there's no one in the world quite like you, and I think you're pretty dang awesome. Thanks for being here, everyone.